I've been writing about it for years. The end times, the prophecies, the warnings. I wasn't a true believer, not really. It was just a topic that sold books. My articles were filled with theological jargon, but my heart was empty. A void where I should have invited him in. I dismissed it all as folklore, a comforting fairy tale for the faithful. And then, one Tuesday afternoon, the fairy tale came true. The day started like any other. A typical commute, the usual gridlock. I was inching along the 405 when the first car veered into the divider. Empty. Not a screech of tires. Not a human face in the driver's seat. Just a sedan, ghost-driven, plowing through the median like a phantom. Then another car did the same. And another. The domino effect began. Buses and trucks, their drivers gone, became battering rams in a silent, slow-motion catastrophe. I saw a school bus, its empty seats swaying, roll lazily into an overpass support. A plane's engine noise changed from a steady drone to a panicked, screaming descent. For a fleeting second, I thought it was terrorism, some coordinated attack. The traffic jams became endless parking lots of abandoned vehicles. But that's when the real panic started. The wailing. The gut-wrenching, primal cries of mothers. They clutched their stomachs, now flat and empty, a silent tribute to the life that had been. I saw one woman, previously pregnant and radiant, on her knees in the middle of the interstate, her screams cutting through the cacophony of sirens that had now fallen silent. The paramedics and police, their faces pale with shock, had abandoned their vehicles, the flashing lights a useless beacon. The children were gone. The toddlers in their car seats, the kids on their bikes, the infants in their strollers. Gone without a trace. Mass hysteria took hold, a palpable entity in the summer air. I saw a man in a business suit weeping openly, his tie undone, kneeling with his hands raised, babbling about missing his shot. Others ran through the aisles of the now vacant cars, screaming questions into the sky. "Where are you? Are you there?" My phone buzzed with the same messages, a wildfire of social media anguish. People who had mocked believers, who had promised post-rapture looting sprees, stood stupefied, their faces a mask of terror. My years of writing about it gave me a flash of horrible, soul-crushing recognition. This was the rapture, and I was left behind. The media, at first, tried to rationalize it. A mass casualty event, some new virus, an alien abduction. But the footage spoke for itself. CCTV showed children disappearing from school buses. Dash cams caught drivers vanishing, their cars continuing on a path of destruction. The anchor, a man whose smug cynicism I'd always found so tiresome, stammered and broke down on live television. The explanations dissolved into meaningless noise. I watched as the looting started. A desperate, ugly scavenger hunt. What had just happened was a spiritual event, and we responded with our basest human instincts. But the looting and the panic were merely symptoms of the disease that had taken root in our souls. The knowledge. Millions of us, millions like me, looked at the empty spaces where our loved ones had been, and we knew. We realized we had missed it, a cosmic appointment with destiny. The articles I'd written, the half-hearted research, it all flooded back with the force of a tidal wave. I knew why. I knew what I hadn't done. The tears came, hot and bitter. Not of fear, not yet, but of a profound and soul-crushing regret. For all the words I had written, I had never truly understood. I stumbled from my car, leaving it in the jam, and fell to my knees on the asphalt. The air was filled with a chorus of desperate prayers. People shouting to the empty sky, begging for a second chance. We were giving our lives to Jesus, but it wasn't the joyous acceptance of faith. It was the frantic, panicked plea of a drowning man. And we all knew, with a certainty that chilled us to our bones, that our time of tribulation had just begun.